Hello everyone, welcome to Getting Started with Microsoft Dynamics 365. My name is Judy, I am today's host. Before we get started with what we have in store for us today, I'd like to introduce our company, Software Dynamics. Software Dynamics is not just an IT solutions company. We are a driven force behind digital transformation landscape. We have a dedication in transforming the tech future as well as system integration. Our company specializes in system integration, business automation, business intelligence, as well as comprehensive CRM, ERP, and HR module. For today's session, Getting Started with Microsoft Dynamics 365, we're going to have our expert take us through the different functionalities of Microsoft Dynamics 365, as well as the role center. Feel free to engage with us and interact with us with questions, comments at the chat box. Abdul, over to you.
Thank you very much, Judy, for the introduction. And without further ado, I'll move on to the slides of Business Central. We'll see what Business Central can do, companies and organizations, and after that, we'll showcase the role centers of Business Central, and we'll be able to see how the UI appears. So right now, we can see that in this slide shows that you can connect and automate your business processes with Dynamics 365 Business Central ERP. And right here, we can see there's 4 entities, and we have the employee who can engage the customers, and we have the capacity of the system to empower people, operations, and transform products and services. Well, data is stored in the cloud or on premises, and we recommend storing data in the cloud because of many reasons that the cloud offers and low cost. So right here, we can see that Business Central can optimize operations, transform products and services, and engage customers and even people. We can be able to see the modules that are supported by Business Central. So right here, we have sales module, we have marketing, services, we have e-commerce or commerce, then we have operations, finance, and HR. Now in these modules, all these modules are interconnected together. So one module will have an implication in the other module. So there is a good interconnection between one module to the other. Okay. Well, ideally, the interconnection is showcased here. We can see clearly how finance management is connected to project management and sales and well, supply chain management, reporting and analytics, operational management. So, for example, when a sales order is posted, it generates a sales invoice. So the figures in the sales invoice automatically are pulled by the reporting module. They record what item was sold, who's the salesperson, who posted the transaction. So, which is very powerful for even for the audit. So Business Central can automatically pull systems and processes together to manage financial, sales, services, and operations. And we can also connect a third-party application like payroll system, banking, CRM, or industry-specific systems using APIs or normal standard procedures. Well, in this section, we are able to see the segmentations in different modules. So we have the sub-modules that together they build the entire module. So right now, we see how financial, sales and service management, project management, supply chain management, operations management, reporting and analytics. Just to start with the most extensive module, or one of the biggest modules in most systems, is finance management. It has many entities. So right now we can break the entities into 4 main categories: accounts receivables and payables, management, and month and year-end closing. Well, in accounts receivables and payables is mainly concerned with the customers and vendors. So, for example, a customer they are converting a lead into an opportunity, then an opportunity into the opportunity into a quote. We can do that. Then we can generate a sales order from the quote. Then we can post to have the sales invoice. Then after that, the invoice is registered into the system and applied. So after application of the invoice in payments, that's in account receivables, we can be able to see that invoice that it has been applied to a payment and what's the amount that is remaining. The same can be applied in vendors with purchase invoices and purchase orders, and purchase quotes can also be converted to purchase. So that is covered in accounts receivables and payables. Then we have bank account reconciliation. Well, bank account reconciliation is made easy in Business Central because there are two options. We can have bank account reconciliation performed automatically just by importing the statement from the bank CSV file format and just clicking one button and everything is matched automatically. Or we can have manual matching if the date differs in the system, or we can also incorporate the date differences using the tolerance feature so that the system can check if there's 2 days tolerance to match entries that even differ with 2 days tolerance. And we have fixed asset management and month and year end closing capabilities with Business Central. Moving forward, we have sales and service management. Here we have a quote generation feature that can convert the quote, as I said earlier, into an order, and then an invoice can be posted. We have contract management to customers later on if they are potential customers. Then we have sales invoicing and payment processing. Then project management, we have capacity planning, budget estimates, job and process costing, resource management. Well, in this other module of supply chain management, we have complex processes and we also have simple processes. We have inventory and purchase control, shipment and distribution, returns and cancellation, procurement and vendor management. In complex processes for purchase and inventory processes, for example, putaways and for example, let's say a purchase order is posted and at the time of receiving the goods, we can have putaways which can be created by the purchase order processor and then can be assigned to the warehouse manager. So offloading the truck for the inventory to be placed in the warehouse. So that can be done. It's a complex process, and we can also involve bins with inventory management. Then we have shipment and distribution. Here we also have complex processes like picking list, which can be created by the sales order processor and then assigned to the warehouse employees. Then returns and cancellations are covered in two ways. You can have returns of damages where the inventory actually is returned to the company or to the warehouse, or we can have price reduction credit memos, which have this a similar concept of returns. And then procurement and vendor management is also part of that. Another module is operations management. Here we have forecasting feature. For example, like inventory going beyond a certain threshold, so it can notify the person interacting with the system that you need to purchase inventory because you have more sales order than available inventory in your warehouse. It can really save you time of analytics and let the system do analytics for you. Then production planning, manufacturing capacity, and warehousing management are also features supported with Business Central. And reporting and analytics, here we have customer insights that are generated. We have self-service reports, interactive dashboards, which we will see when we move to the actual demo, and we have built-in intelligence. Well, Business Central also enhances productivity in 3 ways. First, we have it can be accessed anywhere, just or a phone, an Android or iOS phone. We have an app in Play Store and App Store, so it can really be accessed easily, and the company does not have to invest in having a development team building an app. The app is readily available Play Store for free download. Then we have role-based workspaces. In this sense, we have a role base for business manager, and we have role base for end user like sales order processor, accountant, warehouse employees. So every workspace is different because it shows what is relevant to the user that is using that workspace or role center. Another way is that it can be integrated with Office 365 apps like Outlook and Excel. Now here we can see our journey of data to action. So Business Central can convert data to give using AI to support your decision, and it can do the same using cash flow and inventory forecasting to do predictions for you. Like, it can really assist you in doing predictions, and it can help you to know which customers have overdue balances and which one they don't, without checking the records. Like, for example, in the sales order, like if just at the point of generating a sales order, it will let you know that this customer has an overdue balance. So you'll give special attention to that client, and you'll be able to also follow up with that client. Then interactive dashboards are provided using Power BI, which can be integrated. And also we have dashboard and reports that are provided by standard procedures. For example, we have reports for knowing how the sales people are performing in a company. We have reports to showcase the customers that have been buying for a certain period of time. What have they been buying, unit price that they bought from that company, and bought that company. So we have several reports that can be generated from Business Central using standard procedures, and also we can have reports that are customized that that the company will require, and if they are not provided by standard procedures. So we are not really limited with what is provided, but we can customize our own reports for the client. So for now, I think we've covered like an Business Central looks like. How are the modules? What modules does it have, like generally? And I think that overview of Business Central has given an idea to what Business Central it is and what is able to be performed with Business Central. Okay, right now I'll navigate into the system. We'll be able to see how the role center is, what are the elements of Business Central, how is the UI, what are the capabilities that we've just showcased, how are they visible in Business Central. So without further ado, let me just jump into the dummy environment of Business Central so that we can showcase these capabilities on the role center. Okay, now this is the role center for business manager in Business Central. As you can see, we have the master data right here at the top. We have customers, we have vendors, charts of accounts. So what is shown in this role center, it is important to note that it is what is relevant to the business manager, so as the name of the role center. So we can see the sales of this month. We have overdue sales invoices amount, overdue purchase invoice amount, and sales invoice predicted overdue. So this information, you will find out that it's not that relevant to for example, a warehouse employee who's supposed to manage the inventory there, but it's very important for business manager. So it shows what is important to the business. Role center, for example, we go to the warehouse manager, for example, and we'll be able to see what it shows there. So let me just showcase that. 1 second, it's the role. So I'm moving to the inventory manager, so we'll be able to see how the interface appears. Okay, it's almost done. Perfect. Okay, as you can see, this is the role center of the inventory manager, and what is shown, it's very important to the inventory manager. It shows that, for example, here, release sales until today, release sales orders until today. It shows you that how many sales orders are released until today. It shows posted sales, shipments, expected purchase orders until today. So if you have purchase orders to expect, you'll be able to see for the warehouse manager, like from a certain supplier today. So if the warehouse manager needs to gather like casuals for offloading the truck, he or she can work on that early, so it will really save time on the warehouse manager's side. And we have today's shipments, picks for inventory complex processes. We have what we call picks for shipment. So if there's any picks assigned to the warehouse manager, maybe from the head office, they can be able to see them right here. So that's just on the part of role center. So I'll go back to the role of the business manager so that I can show some other elements. Okay, now we are in the role center of business thing. So right here, we can be able to see that we have sales orders, purchase orders, and everything is clickable. So it's very interactive. You can click on the purchase orders to see what purchase orders order is opened, what purchase order is pending for approval, and if you need for the warehouse manager, I mean for the business manager, if there's any purchase order or any document that needs to be approved, here request to approve. And if there are emails, they'll be able to showcase, they'll be showcased right here on the failed emails in Outbox. And yeah. And for reports, well, right here we can see it shows the customers, customer name. In this report, it shows you the sales of different customers in that period of time, in that month. And down here we have, which shows important numbers for the business manager. And Power BI reports can also be integrated right here. So it's a very appealing role center, and it has information, and this information is availed at the starting point of just the home page. Just logging into the business central, it shows you this information, which is really powerful and helps a lot. And this is one of the factors of productivity. So we'll just move through different master data to check on what is available. So right here we can see this is the customer, and we have the customer list customers, you can see it shows you the customer name, customer number, the contact name, and then it shows you if the customer has balance, and it shows you what are the sales that the customer has generated in the company and the payments thing regarding that customer just on the customer list. So if there is a balance, you'll be able to see this customer has this balance. If there's payment made in that customer, you'll be able to see, and the balance will reduce. So it will also show you what is then the vendors, the same concept with the customer. It has vendor number, vendor name, and it shows you the balance, balance due, and if you've made any payment to the supplier. On the item, this is the inventory of the company. So inventory is clearly shown. So it shows you the quantity of every item in that company. And if you can even put the location code right here, you can play where you want. And it shows you the unit of measure, shows you the posting group of the inventory, the unit cost, and the vendor number for the supplier that you purchase the inventory from right here. And I will go to charts of account in finance and accounting module. Here we can see that the accounts are clearly shown. We have asset accounts and income statement accounts. We have balance sheet account and income statement accounts clearly shown. So for balance sheet accounts, you have the asset and equity. So if you want to check any account, you can just filter. Let's say I want to check for the equity accounts. I just filter that. Shows me the equity. So capital stake, stock, and to look at my profit. I'll just come here to income. So I'll be able to see the revenue generated, sales of a job. I'll be able to see the total sales of contracts, discounts granted. So everything can be clearly shown here. So you don't have to go through all the accounts. You can filter and look at what it is relevant to you at that moment. So we have this chart of account, and it is it has a good relationship between one the accounts and totaling account. So right here you can see this is a posting account. This is just a beginning account. It's a heading. It's begin total account. Then we have the totaling account here. So this helps in also the reporting. For example, the income statement, you can have a detailed income statement or a detailed balance sheet or cash flow statement. Then we can have a simplified income statement or a balance sheet income statement, or a balance sheet that only shows posting accounts. So we can have the detailed statement and we have the simplified statement. So as you can see, we have several reports. So that's just on the overview of Business Central, how the role center is, how the master data is categorized, and in future we'll have more web on one line of Business Central, let's say inventory count, and we can be able to explore what Business Central performs in that area, or we'll be able to see on focus to plan. We'll be able to see how Business Central helps companies to focus and plan for their business processes, and that will be able to dive in Business Central. So for now, this session has only been intentional for the overview part, and I think we've covered that. So for now, I'll just like to thank the audience for watching this session, and I'll end my presentation with showing appreciation. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Abdul, for that insightful and informative demo session. I'd like to ask a few questions so that you can have a deeper understanding of Microsoft Dynamics 365. How does Microsoft Dynamics 365 differ from other ERP solutions? And Microsoft Dynamics stand out from other ERP solutions?
Thank you very much, Judy, for that. Well, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central differs from other solutions in numerous ways. First of all, it has comprehensive modules like supply chain module, finance and accounting, warehousing, and inventory. So these modules are comprehensive, and the connectivity between one module to the other, it's uh, it's on another level with Business Central. So whatever is done in one module can have an implication to the other module, and that is advantageous for even the audit process. Another way that Business Central is able to set itself apart from other ERP systems is that environment. So in that, I think Business Central is the best ERP system.
Thank you. Another question is, what security measures are put in place to protect sensitive financial or operational data?
Well, we have several measures that have been placed by Microsoft to ensure security of data and accessibility of Business Central. So, for example, we can have two-factor authentication, which can be put in place to ensure that there is strict uh, control when logging into the system. So, the moment the user tries to log in, it can send an OTP to the phone number or most Microsoft Authenticator app so that the user can input the OTP before logging in into the system. Another way, we have a module, a sub-module of permissions and controls. We can set permissions and control for certain users so that we can give them permission of certain areas into the system, and we can restrict access to certain areas into the system using permission and control module. So that is able to be done using just standard procedures. So we don't have really to go into the development to create the matrices. We just have to work on the implementation part, and that can be achieved.
All right, last question I'd like to understand. Could you please explain the data migration process for any business looking to transition to Microsoft Dynamics 365?
Thank you very much for that. Data migration process is one of the major processes that we do when we are carrying out the implementation. So the process involves, first of all, providing the company that you are implementing the system with guidelines on how they'll fill on the master data and opening balances. So we can give them like guidelines on how to wants to input data for the customers, opening balances, if there are any invoices there or payments there. The same with vendors, and they can also give us the inventory master data details in Excel sheets and charts of accounts. They can give us an overview of how the charts of accounts moment. We can go forward and upload the records that we have received from the client into Business Central. So basically, we'll just be working on a few areas that we can polish, then we upload the records into the system. So basically, the process of data migration is just involving customer or the company and uploading the records into Business Central with the correct way of uploading them using best practices and ensuring the opening balances are accurate. Or if the company has strict audit process, we can even upload the invoices and payments in the ERP system after receiving the records from the client.
Thank you for that. Thank you once again, Abdul, for giving us a guide throughout the Microsoft Dynamics Role Center as well as the different functionalities. I hope it was an insightful session for the viewers. We are looking forward to give you more and more sessions through our webinar. Feel free to contact us through the contact information linked below, and we are given. Until next time, see you soon.